if TikTok gets banned, what does that actually mean? Many people who create content today are in a committed relationship with their platform. They only use YouTube Shorts. They only use Instagram. They only use TikTok. In the event that TikTok is banned, the second order effect of that is a whole wave of creators now need a new outlet.
Bingo.
The level of competition for attention is going to go up a lot on these platforms. When you create content for search, you create content that answers questions. When you create content for social, you create content that attracts attention. There are two different things. If I said, let's say I did a how to sell my house this summer in Dallas, Texas. That's someone searching that particular phrase, and you want to basically answer that question directly. If I were to translate that to social, I would say, these are the 7 mistakes to avoid when selling your house in Dallas this summer. We're not going to see a wave of extraordinary real estate creators swoop into Instagram because they're already on Instagram. What we're going to see is a wave of people outside of real estate. So I think one of the best things you can be thinking about if you want to take advantage of it is to
see TikTok is mostly entertainment, but it's become now insights and lessons and learning. And so it started out, dance moves. Thank God we're not dancing anymore. And now it is like a YouTube platform. So in your opinion, how do I best optimize to be found and to be to be that voice of reason for people on YouTube, thinking about the TikTok revolution?
You need to create what's called topic authority. Jimmy, we talked about this on a recent podcast together. So topic authority means the more you contribute content or post content on a specific topic, the more authority you gain and credibility you gain. So the algorithm's going to understand that, oh, you're an expert in this way or this field. A lot of people, when they approach social media, they do a little bit of this, a little bit of that. And this is becoming an increasing need across all social platforms, not just YouTube. But if you want to create content that's more searchable, one of the best things you can do is determine who am I making it for, and then consistently add to that niche of content, and you'll gain topic authority over time. And it will naturally, like all the keyword optimization stuff will likely kind of fill in on its own, because if you choose to talk about the same topic, you're going to reference the same keywords over and over and over again, just naturally, which is going to build authority on that subject.
I think the thing that we have to ask ourselves is sort of the second order effect, which is if TikTok gets banned, what does that actually mean? I think many people who create content today are in a committed relationship with their platform. Meaning that they only use YouTube Shorts. They only use Instagram. They only use TikTok. And so I think in the event that TikTok is banned, the second order effect of that is a whole wave of creators now need a new outlet.
Bingo.
And so what does that mean?
Competition.
The level of competition for attention is going to go up a lot on these platforms. I think that's the first thing we have to call out, which is, okay, in the event this happens, what should my strategy be? Well, you should prepare yourself to start producing a lot more, right? To start competing, because you're going to now be competing against people who've been doing it for a long time.
They're all going to be using the same road, so to speak.
Exactly. So I think that's the first sort of point. The second thing, there's many ways to establish a style. So, we always talk about niche down or niche down. You can do it by area. You could do it by price point. You can do it by the type of content you're creating. So I think for the agent who's listening right now, one thing we know for sure is I can't think of a single creator in our space who is this sort of broad, kind of talks about every topic, every area, every price point. Every video is fundamentally different. I mean, we think about Ken Pozak, we think about Brad McCallum, we think about Glenda Baker. Instantly in our mind, like styles start to appear.
Old school Christoph Chu, everything Beverly Hills, everything luxury, everything high end as an example.
And so I think the question really is, you can be a Ken Pozak in your area so long as you understand, what does it actually mean? It means niching down to a specific type of content that you become the best in the world at.
Be the mayor of your town. Right. And that set off a journey of, we should interview all the, the people that run the schools and the teachers and then all the small businesses. And I think a lot of people reached out and started to do that, but they didn't understand the context from which they were doing it in, which is, if you're living in Orlando, this is a street and you're looking to shop. If you're moving to Orlando, this is a street you need to be aware of and maybe proximity to it. And I think that if you're living in or you're moving to, that could be the context that gives people greater certainty around what they should be discussing. Thousands of people that are really good, tens of thousands of people that are really good on TikTok suddenly rush into YouTube Shorts, or they come back to or make Instagram their focal point. What should someone be thinking about in terms of creating real degrees of separation because there's going to be a threat. There's going to be some 25-year-old in their marketplace that has been killing on TikTok, who is now looking at the old people, the three of us. Yes, you guys are now old.
I know.
And saying, I'm coming to get you with everything I learned on TikTok, and I'm bringing the heat to Instagram and YouTube Shorts. So what is my friend listening right now? What do they also need to be thinking about beyond topical authority, right? Understanding the competition, moving in, moving out of, living in, etc. What else should they be thinking about before we wrap up this show?
You got a thought first?
One of the best sources of inspiration, Tom, is looking outside of the real estate industry. And so we're not going to see a wave of extraordinary real estate creators swoop into Instagram because they're already on Instagram. What we're going to see is a wave of people outside of real estate. So I think one of the best things you can be thinking about if you want to take advantage of it is to be not the innovator, because the innovator has arrows in their back, but it's to be a fast follower. Meaning it's to be that sort of second person saying, jumping on trends or styles. And you see it. I mean, you see it all the time. We're seeing now stylistically changes in videos where like, you see how it evolves and so I think just being a fast follower is really probably mission critical to your success. Paying very close attention to not only what's trending, but why is it trending? Why is it doing well? And saying, how can I adjust my style to fit into this sort of new modality, if you will?
So what else should they be thinking? So I've got this killer question that I've just answered that we know if 75 people have looked for it, those are 75 high intent buyers and sellers in the marketplace. What else should I do with that written word piece of content?
Well, the way to think about this is that when you create content for search, like you just described, you create content that answers questions. When you create content for social, you create content that attracts attention.
That's good.
And there are two different things. So in the way that I would think about this, if I said, let's say I did a, how to sell my house this summer in Dallas, Texas. That's someone searching that particular phrase, searching those particular keywords, and you want to basically answer that question directly. If I were to translate that to social, I would say these are the 7 mistakes to avoid when selling your house in Dallas this summer. I would add some emotion behind it, some type of psychological trigger behind it as an example.
A pain, a pleasure, a gain, an avoid. It's in the very beginning of the question.
Exactly. And you have to think about that as you make the translation. But the other point that you guys are bringing up
with
is
one of these
yes.
Avoid this. Dollars sinking into the ground.
We've all seen it before, right? The Dallas skyline's on fire. Yeah, we've seen that. We've seen that.
Exactly.
So what's interesting though, as you guys are talking through this, I think what you're really bringing attention to, which is super important. And I mean, everyone right now who thinks about marketing like we do every day, and the people who are watching this podcast, we think about what's new, what's next. We think about what's happening with TikTok, what's happening with social media, Instagram, YouTube, and Google is still king when it comes to search.
1000%.
And so few people are thinking about search as a category, SEO as a category, because it's not as cool as it once was, if it ever was cool, 5 years ago.
Oh, it's cool.
As an example. And
I'll debate.
And I'm reminded of the Netflix story. So Netflix started streaming in 2007. Okay, so 18 years ago now. They still, up until 2023, delivered DVD by mail. Okay, they've been streaming for 18 years and they were still mailing out DVD. And so listen, I'm excited about ChatGPT. I think ChatGPT has 200 million active users right now. Google has 3 billion.
Right. Exactly. Okay. I'm going to go with the 3 billion number, Bob.
It's Seth Godin, and everyone will put this in the show notes. Seth Godin runs a great blog. It's called Give Me Your Dead Stuff. When someone declares something to be, hey, it's over, search is over, SEO is over. Okay. That's when you start to really focus on investing, because all the quick and fast money has moved on to what's next. And so implementing these strategies after in an area which is not as exciting or sexy is a big opportunity for next year.
Hey, if you need more marketing support, emails, texts, direct mail samples, check out listingleads.com. That's listingleads.com for all the marketing you need, plus fresh drops every single month to give you more stuff to go generate more listings.